good Friday, guys. How are we today?
We're good. Let's talk a little Tom Hanks and this movie, The Circle. What do we think?
Yeah, it's got a lot of buzz going on. It's with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson, and this is let's just call it a cautionary tale, if you will, about today's technology and how it affects our daily lives and routines. You know, like how much is too much with your information out there on the web and organizations having access to it? You know, where's the line? What do you sacrifice for security's sake today? And Emma Watson plays a starry-eyed entry-level lady coming into this job at a company called Circle. It's this Google-like company, and she meets Tom Hanks, who runs the show there, and she starts to discover that things kind of aren't exactly on the level. There's this new camera that they've developed, which promises to solve all our security issues, from everything from terrorism to alien invasions, you know what I mean? And there are issues that come with that, obviously. But what's interesting about this film is that this is one of Bill Paxton's last films, okay? He plays Emma Watson's dad, so it's always a joy to see him on screen, but a very intriguing film.
Tom Hanks really doesn't make bad movies.
No, he does not. And somebody asked me today, you know, like, does he play a supervillain in this movie? I don't know if you want to categorize Tom Hanks as a supervillain, but this is definitely a different kind of role for him. It's very sinister, very subversive, and it does make you ask a lot of questions.
So, all right, The Circle. Now, the other movie, I'm glad because I wrote the screenplay to this next movie, and finally Hollywood decided to make this into a movie. The royalty checks will be coming soon, but I titled this "How to Be a Latin Lover."
It's our life story, McGraw. I mean, come on.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So, you know, did they? The book, quite frankly, my book was better than the movie they made. But how was the movie?
Movie is very, very funny. It stars Eugenio Derbez. It's a comedy, obviously, about a man with a history of seducing older, rich women. Again, are there parallels here, McGraw? I don't know. He finds himself dumped by his, wait for it, 80-year-old wife of 25 years. She dumps him for a car salesman, okay? And then he's forced to move in with his sister, with Selma Hayek, who is always a joy in every movie that she's in. And there he learns sort of the value of family. It also has Rob Lowe and Kristen Bell. Very, very funny movie.
Rob Lowe's in everything.
Yeah,
he's Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's new Colonel.
Exactly. He's starting to become one of those guys that's just like, oh, wow, there's Rob Lowe again. Yeah, there's the once Brat Packer. Now he does these little pop-up cameos and everything like that. Speaking of pop-up cameos, guys, I'm telling you, next week, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 opens up, and I had the chance to see it in New York. And when I tell you, you want to talk about surprise cameos, all of a sudden everybody in the audience is just looking like, oh, my God, that's really, I'm not going to give it away, but you're going to want to check it out just for some of the cameos alone in this film.
So what you're saying is Donald Trump shows up in Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Careful.
You know, Rob Lowe sort of reinvented his career. He was headed down a bad path, but TV, radio, West Wing, some of those other ones, he's really rebounded nicely.
Mm-hmm. You could really compare him almost to Robert Downey Jr. and everything that Robert Downey Jr. was going through. I mean, when he nailed the role as Iron Man, I mean, they wanted, you know, Marvel wanted him to audition. And you don't ask Robert Downey Jr. to audition, but he was going through some really dark stuff there. Right. And Marvel wasn't quite sure if he could hold it down. You know, what are we getting into here? But, you know, he reinvented his career with that.
And, you know, the other one was John Travolta. He couldn't get arrested, and then he comes out in Pulp Fiction, and that sort of revitalized his career.
Exactly, and then you had Michael afterwards and everything. So, you know, some interesting resurgences there when you want to talk about stars on the brink.
Matt Wolfe, ABC News Entertainment editor, here with us from Hollywood, California. Matt, have a good week. Thanks for checking in.
We'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.
8:25, Big 5.